Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I want to tell you about analytical psychology by Carl Gustav Jung. First of all, I want to introduce you about how is Carl Gustav Jung. Carl Gustav Jung was a Swiss psychology and psychiatry who lived from July 26, 1875 to June 6, 1961. He is known from his great contribution to psychology, especially by developing analytical psychology. He was a student and friend of Sigmund Freud, but their friend did not last long due to differences of opinion between the two. Next, what is analytical psychology? Analytical psychology by Carl Gustav Jung is a way of looking at how the human mind and personality develop. Jung had a belief that eclectic phenomena can too influence everyone's life. Jung believed that each individual is not only motivated by talent experiences, but also by certain emotional experiences inherited from our ancestors. Next, there is a level of psyche. The first one is conscious. At this level, the ego is the center of consciousness, but not the core of personality. In analytical psychology, the conscious has a smaller role than the unconscious. Every emphasis on the conscious can lead to psychological imbalance. For example, Jenny attends a party and she chooses an outfit that is suitable for the occasion. The second is personal unconscious. The personal unconscious refers to all the repressed, forgotten experiences of a person. Personal unconscious is shaped by the different experiences of each person. One of the ways personal unconscious affect a person is by impact, or Jung used to call it complex. Complex is the main pattern of emotion, memory, perception, and expectation. Complex also regulates person's behavior and emotion. For example, when Lex was a child, he loved going to the beach. Until he grew up, when Lex heard or saw the beach, he would feel happy. The third is collective unconscious. The collective unconscious is the deepest level of psyche. The collective unconscious contains a collection of experiences inherited by previous species and human. The past experiences contained in this level in the form of pattern, image, or them are called archetype. Jung also thought that dreams were evidence or archetype. Based on a person's dreams, found the same pattern as previous candidates. Jung also saw the hallucination of psychotic patients as evidence of archetype, which show patterns that are universal in human and inherit from previous generation. And also have a lot of archetype type. The first one is personal. Personal is the side of a person personality that is shown on the world. The second one is shadow. Shadow is the dark side of one's personality that one tries to hide. The third is animal, the feminine side of man. The fourth is animus, the masculine side of women. And the next is the Great Mother, representation of very strong and profound concept of motherhood or feminine aspect. The next is the Wise Old Man. It's an old man who has a deep source of wisdom. The next is Hero. Hero is in mythology and legend as a powerful individual. And the last is Self. Encompasses both the conscious and unconscious mind, universe, the conflict theme elements of psyche and symbolizes the pursuit of perfection and balance. Next, there is a dynamic of personality. The first, causality and teleology. Causality is the cause and effect of a person's past experiences. Example, Lex grew up in a loving and supportive family. These positive experiences result in Lex growing into a person who tends to adapt and be optimistic due to the positive influence of his family environment. And the teleology is the goal that individuals work towards achieving and maintaining psychological balance. Jung said that causality and purpose are intertwined in shaping personality dynamic, where the journey towards self-interrogation, interaction with environmental influences, and one-life experiences. The second is progression and regression. Progression is adaptation to the external world involving the forward flow of psychic energy, or encouraging a person to react consistently to a given set of environment conditions, whereas regression is adaptation to the internal world relying on the backward flow of psychic energy, or activating the unconscious psyche, which is an important aid in the resolution of most problems. Next, there is a psychological types. The first one is attitude. Attitude have two types. First one is introvert and the second one is extroversion. The first one is introvert. The tendency to direct psychic energy inward, focusing on subjective experience. A person who prefers to immerse themselves, direct attention inward, and gain energy from their own time. The second is extraversion. An attitude characterized by the outward direction of psychic energy, so that one is subjectively oriented and avoid the subjective. People who tend to be active, like to interact with the outside world and get energy from social relationship. Next, there is a function. This is part of psychology types too. The first one, there is a thinking. People who like to use logic and analysis in making decisions. Extroverts tend to rely on concerted and objective thinking and tend toward a more measured approach. Introverts tend to incorporate internal meanings and subjective interpretation in the decision-making process, as well as seeing deeper meanings behind facts or creating more original and creative solutions. The second is feeling. The process of evaluating an idea or event. A person can make a judgment about something without being emotionally involved. Extroverts tend to use objective data and external social standards to make value judgment, whereas introvert people tend to make value judgment based on subjective and perception and individual's data. The third is sensing. Prefer to rely on concrete fact and direct observation through the five senses. Extroverts see the response to the world around them directly, whereas introverts tend to give personal interpretation to sensory stimuli. And the last is intuition. Focus on deep understanding and seeing underlying patterns. Involves the ability to understand something without the need for detail, explanation, or clear data. Extroverts tend to see possibility and opportunities in the external environment, whereas introverts have deep insight into the meanings and patterns contained in their personal experiences. The next, there is a development of personality. The first one, stage of development. Stage of development have four types. The first one is childhood. Childhood have three types. First one is anarchy phase, characteristic by chaotic and sporadic consciousness. In this phase, there is little or no connection between experiences, and the images that arise in consciousness are often primitive and difficult to express in words. The second is monarchy phase, the emergence of the ego and the start of logical and verbal thinking. Children begin to see themselves objective and develop logical thinking or verbal skills. The third is dualistic phase. Children realize their existence as separate entities that have objective and subjective dimension. They have a more complex understanding of themselves. The second one, there is a youth era. It is a time when adolescents strive to achieve independence. Independence. Blah, blah. The second one, there is a youth era. It is a time when adolescents strive to achieve independence, increase their romantic relationship building activities, find their place in the world, and have a growing awareness. You are also conscious that the drive to maintain the value of adolescence can lead to difficulties in achieving self-realization and prevent difficult individuals from establishing purpose or meaning in life. The third is middle life era. Young believe that the middle of life begins at around 36 or 40 years of age. At this time, there is a cyclical decline and reaching the peak of life. Individuals get open themselves up to the new meaning and value appropriate to the new stage of life. According to Jung, in this phase, people fail to acknowledge change and continue to hold on to their adolescence and values. And the last is old age. Tend to cling to youth and strive to maintain lifestyle and value from the past. He highlighted the paradox of the opportunity of growing old in society, where people are more often appreciated if they look young and active. Young also emphasizes that people who are afraid of growing old and stick to the ideas of youth will have difficulty in dealing with the natural change of life. Next, the last of development of personality is self-realization. Self-realization is the process of integrating opposing poles into the homogeneous individual. It can also be said to be the process of becoming a complete individual or person. People who go through this process have achieved self-realization, minimize their persona, acknowledge their anima or animus, and achieve a functional balance between introversion and extroversion. People who achieve self-realization have a good balance and functional of all their psychological components. And that's the last of Mastery Analytical Psychology by Gustav Jung. And thank you for your attention to listen this video. Don't forget to like and comment. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.